Hey guys, today we are with Christopher. Many of you probably know him from the Jungle Scout video about Amazon selling on Europe Amazon. When was it, Christopher? It was like 2 years ago, I guess, pretty much.
Yes, I think it was 2 years ago, yes.
He is the founder of FBA Hero, that is helping out Amazon sellers in Europe in accounting wise. Actually, we are just going to talk about those topics in about like a couple of minutes. So I welcome you all to the webinar of Christopher for our YouTube channel. Welcome, Christopher.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this interview. I hope I
You're
can
most
help.
welcome. So in terms of the settings, we are going to go through the questions that we gathered on our Facebook group. They pretty much summarize the process for selling on Amazon Europe anyway. So if you have additional questions, feel free to ask in the comments section. We will try to address them in the following videos. And if you would like to work with Christopher, you can directly check their website and find out their services. So Christopher, this is going to be, as you know, mostly about the possible challenges Turkish sellers might face in Amazon Europe. And the first question everybody has in mind is, for Turkish sellers willing to sell in Amazon's European marketplaces, what are the most beneficial countries to found companies in terms of establishment processes, time spent, and costs?
It's because of the Amazon requirements, not because of official requirements. You need to have a company established somewhere else. So here, my personal suggestion as a first point, if you know somebody, if you have, for whatever the reason, any connection to a country where you have friends, where you're going yourself sometimes, okay, I would suggest to use this country. Why? Company formation is even today in a digital era something that requires from time to time a personal physical interaction, okay? Many companies are founded nowadays in Estonia because it is simple, right? But it is much more simpler if you are, whatever, living in Georgia or having friends in Romania or whatever the country is, or even in Germany, right? Because then things like the address, receiving post, having a phone number, all those kind of small things, they are absolutely no problem with some friends. But when it comes to Estonia or other countries, it always requires a service that you have to pay for, that at the end is taking care about these very, very easy tasks.
In terms of tax, as the second question, do you think there is a huge difference between the European countries? If you form a company in one of them, of course.
There is, yes. So countries like Germany, France, or let's say Western countries, okay, they all are more or less the same, which is something you would really need to take a closer look, in particular with an accountant of that country. So this would be really an individual consultation, because as you know, taxes are not always like very straightforward. Estonia, and this is one of the reasons why so many people go to Estonia, it's not only because of the organization, it is always also because Estonia has a special tax system that says that every tax you're not paying out, every profit you're not paying out, so everything that you're not using as a dividend is taxed at 0%. Which means if you're using in your Amazon business, you're using a lot of money to constantly reinvest the money in your inventory, you're basically not taxed on this. You only pay regular taxes, like about 20%, if you pay out your profits, which means at the end of the day, you have to pay the same taxes like in every other country. But the good thing is that if you want to constantly reinvest money, countries like, for example, Estonia, they make it easier because there is no taxation in between.
Yeah, that's actually quite huge, because you know they're actually trying to motivate you to invest more in the business. That's something, I guess, what's making Estonia quite appealing country in terms of forming a question. I don't know if you have any experience with this, but once you form a company, let's say in Estonia or in Germany, it doesn't matter, you need to have utility bills to provide to Amazon, so Amazon actually recognizes your account. And so many people are having big challenges because, you know, they form a company, which is an online company, and then they don't get any utility bills. And then they can't actually prove to Amazon that the company exists in the given location. Like, do you know a workaround for this?
A workaround, not, but I know a reason or an explanation that might help people to understand this. Forming companies in Europe, but all over the world, is something nowadays, as I said, you can do it mostly digital, even though sometimes it requires, when it comes to a bank account, it might require personal presence. But the law itself, it is not made for online business. The law is, as you know, it's always asking you for an address because they assume that there is your office. They don't understand that you don't have an office because you're working from home with your laptop, right? So the law itself understands that you need to have physical presence. This is why still things like a utility bill that basically confirms your address with some, you know, water bill or insurance bill or rent or whatever else, right? This is, so to say, what still is used by companies like Amazon or everybody to verify your business, okay? But because it is still the law, it actually would be the real requirement, which means a company that is founded in Estonia just with a virtual office, with a virtual address, with virtual bank account, everything virtual, right? It might work for Estonia because they know about this and they say this is why we established these systems, right? But officially by law, this might be or could reach to a problem. This could be a problem where Turkish authorities say, sorry, you cannot prove to me that the company you have in Estonia is really a real company, okay? So this is kind of the reason, which means overall, if you're starting out with just a virtual office, it is perfectly fine, right? Unfortunately, I don't have a perfect workaround how to get utility bills, but step by step, I would definitely suggest you to build a business in this country, you know? Maybe you have an accountant, a little office, a secretary. Maybe you go there from time to time yourself. So kind of showing to the country, to Amazon, to everyone, hey, my business is really there. It's not just virtual, it is physically there.
You will apply for credit cards, you will get the credit card receipts at least, which Amazon sometimes accepts as utility bill, not always, but sometimes. Then probably you will get some receipts from the bank, from the accountant, from the, let's say, the telephone company, and they will all build up. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and this is the reason why I suggested if you have a country that is allowed on Amazon here in Europe, where you have some friends, where you maybe go there, where you have some family, it would make it so much easier because, you know, you can rent any kind of apartment of your friend or whatever else. So organizing such things like utility bills is so much easier if you have some kind of connection, some kind of network in one of those countries.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. What are the annual virtual office costs and accounting costs? Do you have like any idea how much it would cost if you form a business in Estonia or let's say in Germany?
Yeah. So Estonia and Germany are totally different from organization. What I know, I cannot give you some precise numbers because it's not that this is not my kind of daily business, right? We are not helping to form Estonian companies. But I know there is a lot of online providers nowadays. You have to compare about the quality of their service. It's not all about price. You know, this is a really relevant topic. But I think you can be really as little as, let's say, 50 to 100 euros a month for everything is really a figure to really get things going, to get things started, right? If you grow, you might have to pay more. Like in every company, there is more work to be done. But a simple, let's say, 1,000 to 2,000 euros a year overall is a good, you know, a good figure to calculate with.
So the next question is kind of a big question. I know the answer. If we talk about it, it can take up to 5, even 10 hours. But let's try to give a brief summary about what is pan-European and what are the ups and downs for the business model.
That's a very relevant question, yes. So as we said in the beginning, there is 5 marketplaces on Amazon. Amazon overall has warehouses in 7 countries. So the 5 marketplace countries plus Poland and Czech Republic. They don't have marketplaces there, but they have warehouses. So what you can do is normally you have 3 options of storing at Amazon if you use Amazon FBA. Either option number 1, you say, I'm gonna pick one of those 7 countries. I am sending my goods to, let's say, a German warehouse. Amazon is storing inside Germany, and they just ship it from all around Germany. And whenever a customer from, let's say, Spain is ordering your products, they get it shipped from Germany, okay? So the question of storage is independent from the question of where you are listing your products. You can at any time list your products at all 5 marketplaces, but you can store at only one marketplace. This is called EFN. That's the smallest, the simplest way of doing it, which means as an advantage, it is simple from the organization and also from the VAT, what we talk about later on. But on the other hand, someone that is ordering from Spain and the goods are shipped from Germany, they have to pay more and you don't have the prime advantage because it just takes longer to arrive there, okay? So this is option number 1. Then there is a second option that is called CE, Central Europe. In this package, you're kind of allowing Amazon to store in Germany, Poland, and Czech Republic. Okay, so it's like a triangle. Your goods are sent between all those countries by Amazon. And the biggest option, and this is what related to your question, what Amazon is calling pan-European, is where you allow Amazon to store your goods in all the 7 countries. What does this mean? You're still shipping to one country, and Amazon internally distributes it to wherever they think it makes the most sense. So when the guy is ordering, a customer is ordering from Spain, the products will be shipped from a warehouse nearby in Spain. When the customer is ordering in Germany, he gets it from a German warehouse. For you, the good advantage is, the advantage is you only pay the lowest fees, and the customer, they always get it as fast as possible, which overall is the best for your listing, right? So that is how Pan-EU works. As you see, it's only advantages. So why is not everybody doing Pan-EU? There is a very simple reason. There is one big disadvantage, and the disadvantage is the taxation, right? VAT. This is what we have.
Also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if you store your products in pan-European inventory, there is a slight ranking boost or something like that that I read about.
Absolutely. You know, faster shipping times and Amazon paying less fees.
Amazon likes that, obviously.
You know, Amazon making more money, Amazon likes it, Amazon ranks it.
Yeah, it's a nice quote. Amazon likes it, Amazon ranks it. So let me go to the 5th question. What are the differences between land and air transportation to EU countries with regards to custom operations and the resulting costs?
Yeah. It's a question that unfortunately I have to pass away to someone else because customs is really not my topic. I am a tax expert. I'm related everything to VAT. The only thing I can tell you, which is important in that matter, no matter if you're shipping your products by air or by sea or by train even, at import, when they come from outside Europe, at import, you have to pay import VAT to that country you're importing it to. This import VAT is a VAT you can reclaim if you're VAT registered in that country, which is something you have to be because of you're storing in that country. So that means that all the VAT you pay at this import, it basically is not an additional fee for you. You simply just get it back with the next VAT return. So you can deduct it from the VAT that you have to pay from your sales.
So it is very important because as it is refundable, it doesn't actually change anything rather than the cash flow. Exactly. So yeah, you can reclaim it, but it will change your cash flow. Other than that, the negatives or positives are going to just even themselves out.
Exactly. The most important thing here, and this is the only suggestion I can give to you related to customs, is that if you want to reclaim import VAT, you have to make sure that the invoice of customs where it shows the VAT amount to be paid is issued to you, not to the freight forwarder or to any other customs broker or whatever. They do a lot of scam with this because they say you have to pay 500 euros, 200 euro shipping and 300 euro VAT. And they are reclaiming the 300 euros and you're not getting back any money, right? You can only reclaim what is issued to your company, right? To your Estonian, German, or even Turkish company. It doesn't really matter, right? But it has to be your company. The same company that is registered for the VAT number is the same company that can only reclaim it.
Actually, not so many people know about this. Like when actually, especially the newbies, not if you are not like super advanced about freight forwarding and importing, the freight forwarders tell you some stuff like, you know what, we will take care of it. You don't have to worry about anything. We are just doing a DDP, delivery duty paid, you know. But the thing is, actually, what they do is, not all of them, but some of them at least, they claim this VAT for themselves. Especially, it should go back to you. So exactly. if you don't dig this deep enough, they might take the money that should belong to you. So you should be really careful about this subject.
And this is the point where, in the worst case, you're paying VAT twice, at import for the product and then when you sell the product. And this is a big difference, you know, like VAT is 20% on average. So, you know, nobody wants to pay this twice.
But it's a very common mistake. Like so many people, they are not aware of this and they are scammed by freight forwarders, unfortunately.
Yeah, I see. No, definitely, I agree on this.
Amazon.com.tr, it's the Turkish Amazon, is planning to integrate with European marketplaces in the middle and long run. How will the process be for Turkish companies? Do you have any idea? Like, have you heard anything about it?
No. I mean, the thing is, we know about Amazon Turkey is recently launched. We know that now Amazon is mainly targeting Turkish companies to sell on Amazon Turkey. I have not yet heard of any European seller that Amazon was getting in touch with them and saying, hey, why not expanding to Amazon Turkey? So it seems like that Amazon is in a very early phase of their business in Turkey. And I think on the long run, which is something that it's called Amazon Global, Amazon is always trying to emphasize that sellers are expanding to other markets, okay? Because Turkey is not European Union, there might be problems in terms of importing, so it's not like you can say PANI-EU has country number 8, so to say, you know. This is definitely a little bit more tricky. But I think that Amazon, they will always figure out better options to, let's say, organize the shipping. So they will always find like some benefits for you that you're expanding, okay? But I don't think that it's realistic in the next 1 or 1.5 years that you can expect that Amazon will really make it totally simple for you to expand to Europe from the Turkish marketplace.
I definitely agree, because last year I went to the Retail Global in Las Vegas, and there was the Amazon Global team from Europe as well. They, you know, even then they didn't know much about the Turkish Amazon, you know, website. Yeah, they knew that Amazon launched in Turkey, but they weren't sure about what it was going to be, how they were going to integrate, and they didn't even know that there was a huge Amazon FBA seller community in Turkey as well. When I talked to them, they were frankly shocked, actually, because they didn't know it was a thing in Turkey. I agree with that. It's going to take at least, I would give it at least 5 years. Like, I think like 1 or 2 years will be a little bit too optimistic. It will, because there is so much to solve on this topic, like the imports and then the integration, and there is actually so much. Like for right now, we don't know how we are going to be able to send the inventory. Is there going to be a special discount? Like, there is so much to solve, so it's going to take a little bit while.
I would definitely not count on this. I think Turkey has a great history in like sourcing and trading in general, right? A lot of production happens in Turkey for a lot of great products that are really demanded here in Europe, right? So I think a Turkish seller that has these connections to such products, I think they should rather try to focus expanding on the markets that they are already existing, when there is already customers that are looking for those products. I have a perfect example. If you look here, I found this today. This is something I bought recently, you know, and that's a friend of mine sent this. It's a Turkish product that I was really like, you know, you couldn't find something like this over here in Europe.
Well, we have some friends and some trainees that are selling in France, Germany, in all the marketplaces except UK, and they are making huge amounts of revenues, like really huge amounts. More than €1 million monthly even.
Right.
The good part is, because of the exchange rate, the products and the material costs, they are cheaper in Turkey compared to the European Union. So if you can find a way of exporting quality but cheap products to Europe, it is almost like you don't have any competition. It is a big opportunity to be, you know, like, you have to put emphasis on that.
I think you can compare the Turkish market and the Turkish possibilities. I think you can compare it a little bit to China. Yeah. Sellers, because of the products that they are producing, with the big benefit of Turkey that it is so much closer to Europe. You don't have 6 or 8 weeks of shipping time, you know. We are talking about maybe a week or 2 weeks. So you can react much, much faster on the demand on this market.
Yeah, like, actually there is a couple of other advantages. Like, my wife is Chinese too, so I'm really involved with the Chinese world. And even Chinese people, they think that, oh, this is a product from China. No, I wouldn't like this. They always want to have like either Korean or Japanese brands. Like, they say they are the superior quality. And many people in Turkey and in Europe, they think the Chinese brands are not super quality. But Turkish brands, especially in the textiles, are known to be very good quality. Like, yeah. So it is actually a big opportunity for Turkish sellers to go to European markets. It is hard to compete on the American side. As you say, the market is being flooded by the Chinese sellers. But fortunately, at least for us, the existence of Chinese sellers in the European market is a lot fewer compared to the American market.
Made in China is not really well known for high quality, right? And I think this is where the Turkish seller doesn't have to fear the Chinese, you know, because as long as they produce unique products in a high quality with a brand, which is the rule for everything, right? Doing those things, right? He doesn't have to fear the Chinese competitor that will only cover the very low cost segment or any kind of plastic products.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling to my trainees. We are living in a country, you can say fortunately or unfortunately, but the exchange rate is quite low. So just look around before looking to China, you know, like, look to different cities that produce like unique products. Go to Bursa, check out textiles. Go to another city that is known for something else. And if you can analyze it well, actually you don't even have to look products in China, especially for Europe. So we have a competitive edge. I think it will be, in a couple of years probably, more people will get involved with the Amazon Europe site.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody can go to Alibaba and order online, right? That's why China is so famous. I don't know if there is similar sites in Turkey, but as you say, you know, you got it in front of your door. Just go outside and get your products, right?